Why you must listen. My daily struggle began long before I even considered learning English. It was a profound sense of isolation, a wall between me and a world of information and connection. I felt like an observer, constantly watching life unfold from behind a thick, soundproof glass. This feeling was crippling, silencing my true voice. I yearned for more, for the ability to express my deepest thoughts and engage with diverse cultures. The Internet, a vast ocean of knowledge, remained largely inaccessible, its most valuable treasures guarded by language. This constant craving for connection became an undeniable ache in my soul. Then, a profound realization struck me with the force of a revelation. English, the global lingua franca, held the key to unlocking this expansive world. It was not just a language, it was a bridge, an opportunity, a pathway to truly belonging and understanding. Yet, an immediate wave of trepidation washed over me. The sheer magnitude of the task seemed insurmountable, a towering Everest I lacked the strength to climb. Whispers of doubt, insidious and persuasive, began to echo within my mind, questioning my very capacity. Why you should not learn English, these internal voices argued relentlessly. It's too difficult, you're too old, your accent will always be terrible. You'll never truly master it, so why even bother wasting precious time and energy on such a futile endeavor? These discouraging thoughts were powerful, almost paralyzing. They painted vivid pictures of countless hours spent on frustrating grammar rules and pronunciation nightmares, only to achieve mediocre results. The path ahead appeared fraught with endless obstacles and inevitable disappointment. Sometimes, external voices joined this chorus of negativity, albeit unintentionally. Friends or family, well-meaning but misguided, would comment on the difficulty, subtly reinforcing my own insecurities. It felt like the world was conspiring against my aspirations. But deep down, a persistent flicker of hope remained. It was a stubborn refusal to accept limitations, a quiet rebellion against self-doubt. I knew, with an unshakable certainty, that giving up was not an option for someone who craved connection so deeply. This inner fire slowly began to burn brighter, fueled by the vision of a future where I could effortlessly communicate. I imagined fluent conversations, understanding intricate films without subtitles, and reading books that were previously closed to me. My first step was acknowledging that the why not was simply fear. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of the unknown. I had to face this head-on, dismantle it piece by painful piece, and replace it with unwavering resolve. I decided to confront the monster directly. My motivation shifted from a vague desire to a concrete, unyielding necessity. I must listen to this inner calling. It was no longer a choice but a vital imperative for personal growth and fulfillment. The journey began with a simple, yet terrifying, commitment: I will learn English. Not perfectly, not flawlessly, but progressively, consistently, one tiny step at a time. This mental declaration was the true starting point of my transformation. My daily struggle truly intensified as I began the actual work. It wasn't just about vocabulary or grammar, it was about overcoming the psychological barriers. The frustration was immense when I couldn't articulate even the simplest ideas. One of the most crucial initial pieces of advice I absorbed was to start talking at home. This sounded easy, but the initial awkwardness was palpable. Speaking to myself in an empty room felt incredibly strange, even foolish, at first. I started with basic self-introductions, describing my day aloud. Today, I woke up. I ate breakfast. It was toast. The words felt clumsy, my tongue unfamiliar with the new sounds. It was a halting, often embarrassing process. I used a mirror, sometimes talking to my reflection as if it were a patient, understanding listener. This visual feedback helped me notice my facial expressions and mouth movements, making the abstract concept of speaking more tangible. Recording my voice became another invaluable tool. Playback was brutal. My pronunciation sounded terrible, my rhythm off. But this raw, honest feedback was essential for pinpointing areas that desperately needed improvement and targeted practice. How to practice English effectively quickly became my obsession. I devoured articles, watched YouTube videos, and sought advice from polyglots. The consensus was clear: active, consistent speaking practice was the absolute cornerstone of fluency. Many resources focused heavily on reading and listening, which are undeniably vital. However, without the reciprocal act of producing language, the learning felt incomplete, like accumulating ingredients without ever baking a cake. This led to the fundamental understanding of why you should practice speaking. It solidifies passive knowledge, forces retrieval, and builds confidence. It moves language from theoretical understanding to practical, usable skill. My English study plan for talking evolved into a structured daily routine. Every morning, before starting my day, I dedicated a specific block of time just for speaking aloud. Consistency, I learned, was far more important than intensity. I also incorporated shadowing into my routine, a technique where you repeat spoken language immediately after hearing it. I used short news clips and podcast snippets, trying to mimic the intonation, rhythm, and speed of native speakers. Even simple tasks like thinking in English became part of my practice. When walking to the store, I'd narrate my surroundings in English. The sky is blue. A dog is barking. I need to buy milk. This kept my brain active. I started utilizing apps that connected me with language exchange partners. The first few conversations were excruciatingly awkward, filled with long pauses and stumbling words. My heart pounded, but I pushed through the discomfort. Let me tell you talking tips that truly made a difference. First, embrace mistakes. They are not failures but stepping stones. Every error is a learning opportunity, highlighting where your understanding or pronunciation needs refinement. Second, focus on fluency over accuracy initially. Getting your message across, even imperfectly, builds confidence more than striving for perfect grammar from the start. Accuracy will naturally improve with continuous practice. Third, find a speaking partner or group, even if it's just one person. Interacting with another human being forces real-time thinking and adaptation, which is invaluable practice that isolated study cannot fully replicate. Fourth, immerse yourself in authentic English content. Watch movies without subtitles, listen to podcasts, read news articles. This provides exposure to natural language patterns and expands your vocabulary and context. Fifth, don't be afraid to sound silly. Everyone starts somewhere. The most fluent speakers were once beginners, making the same mistakes. Overcoming the fear of judgment is a massive hurdle in language acquisition. Sixth, break down complex thoughts into simpler sentences. If you can't express an idea perfectly, simplify it. This prevents frustration and keeps the conversation flowing, building momentum. 7th, utilize sentence frames. Learn common phrases and sentence structures, then plug in different vocabulary. This provides a scaffolding for your thoughts and helps you construct sentences more quickly and naturally. 8th, practice active listening. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Truly understand what the other person is saying, ask clarifying questions, and engage meaningfully. This makes you a better conversationalist. 9th, set small, achievable speaking goals. Maybe today's goal is to introduce myself without hesitation. Tomorrow's could be to describe my favorite hobby. Small wins accumulate into significant progress. 10th, celebrate every milestone. When you successfully convey a complex idea, or understand a joke, or simply complete a conversation without giving up, acknowledge your achievement. Positive reinforcement is powerful. The biggest breakthrough happened when I stopped translating in my head. This mental switch, moving directly from thought to English, significantly increased my speaking speed and naturalness. It felt like unlocking a new part of my brain. My daily struggle transformed from a frustrating burden into an exhilarating challenge. Each conversation, each new word learned, each pronunciation corrected, felt like a victory, a testament to my perseverance. I realized that learning English was not merely about acquiring a skill, it was about building a new identity. It empowered me to connect with people from vastly different backgrounds, sharing stories and perspectives previously unreachable. The moments of doubt, the why you should not learn English voices, became quieter, replaced by a confident inner voice celebrating progress. They were mere echoes of a past fear, now largely irrelevant. The advice to start talking at home truly proved foundational. It provided a safe, judgment-free space to experiment, make mistakes, and build the initial muscle memory necessary for real-world interactions. My English study plan for talking became my daily companion, a consistent framework that kept me accountable. It was flexible enough to adapt to my mood and energy levels, yet rigorous enough to ensure continuous advancement. I understood that how to practice English was less about finding a magic bullet and more about consistent, varied engagement. There's no single perfect method, but a blend of different approaches yields the best results. The initial reluctance to practice speaking publicly slowly faded. The small successes at home and with online partners built a robust confidence that allowed me to take bigger, bolder steps. I started speaking English with colleagues, then strangers, gradually expanding my comfort zone. Each interaction, no matter how brief or imperfect, reinforced the notion that I was indeed capable. Why you must listen to this journey is because it reflects a universal struggle. My initial doubts, the profound moments of frustration, and the eventual breakthroughs are not unique experiences. Many face similar linguistic hurdles and emotional battles. The process of how to take first step for talking is often the most paralyzing. It's the fear of the blank page, or in this case, the silent mouth. Just making a sound, any sound, is the true beginning. That initial vocalization breaks the spell. It requires courage, not just intellectual understanding. Stepping out of your comfort zone, even within the confines of your own home, builds a resilience that will serve you well throughout your entire language learning adventure. Remember, why you should practice speaking daily is simple: language is a skill, not just knowledge. Like playing an instrument or riding a bicycle, it improves through repetitive, intentional action, not just passive absorption. The fluency I now enjoy is a direct result of countless hours spent stumbling, correcting, and pushing past discomfort. It's a testament to the power of persistence and the belief that growth is always possible. Learning English transformed my life in ways I never fully anticipated. It opened doors to new friendships, career opportunities, and a deeper appreciation for global cultures. It truly expanded my world. So, let me tell you my final talking tip: never give up. The journey is long, filled with ups and downs, but the destination, true communicative freedom, is unequivocally worth every single ounce of effort you invest. Embrace the process, celebrate the small victories, and remember that every mistake is a lesson learned. Your voice, once trapped, will eventually soar, connecting you to horizons you never dared to dream of before. The initial shame of start talking at home eventually morphs into a confident, natural expression. That quiet, internal practice lays the essential groundwork for loud, vibrant public conversations. It's truly transformative. Recalling the period where I pondered why you should not learn English now feels distant. Those doubts were merely challenges designed to test my resolve, strengthening my commitment to the ultimate goal. The comprehensive English study plan for talking wasn't static, it adapted, evolved, and grew with me. It was a living document, a flexible guide empowering me to navigate my unique learning landscape effectively. So, why you must listen? Because your journey, your daily day's struggle, can also lead to triumph. Take that first step, embrace the tips, and let your voice resonate. The world eagerly awaits to hear what you have to say.